Let's go next to, how about Dan from California? Dan from California, welcome to the program. What's on your mind today?
Hi, David. I do a lot of debates and discussions on my YouTube channel. I've done some with Sam Cedar, and I was wondering if you would ever be up for a long form debate. I'm a big Ayn Rand fan, so that's the perspective I'm coming from.
What would the debate be about?
It'd be about politics or ethics. I do those topics a lot, capitalism or egoism.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, I'm really limiting my appearances elsewhere just because I'm so busy. And to be totally honest, your channel might have 5 million followers. I don't know. And this is not how I base my decisions, but very often there's like very little upside and it dominates my schedule. I want to have as clear a schedule as possible. So like maybe the way to request that would be to email in.
Okay. Might it make a difference if I offered to pay?
No, it really wouldn't.
Okay.
No. I mean, like,
Right.
How much would it be worth to you? I don't know. Maybe it should.
I don't know, man. Like $100 for that. Give me
No,
an
no,
hour
I'm kidding.
or
I'm kidding
15
around. No,
minutes,
it would not make a difference unless the amount was way higher, Dan, please.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding around.
Right,
I might do it, but I'm really limited in what I'm doing just because I'm so busy. What would be your biggest gripe with my perspective, I guess, is my first question.
Well, I guess one fundamental issue, which probably underlies political issues, is your ethics. So I don't know what your view in ethics is, but do you think people have a moral right to live for their own sake? That would be one key question. Or should they be forced to sacrifice for other people?
Yeah, see, this is another reason why I tend not to do these sorts of debates. I exist in a place where I find many of those questions. Do people have a right to live for themselves, or should they be forced to sacrifice for others? Well, the first question is, what kinds of societies do we even believe are best or advisable? And one of the unfortunate, not maybe unfortunate, but like when I hear that question, Dan, and this is why these often end up being philosophical black holes. One of the biggest things when I hear that question is, if we start from the point that we have societies of more than 150 people, quite frankly, and more than 1,000, right? The US has 330 million people. It almost seems not super relevant whether I think that in some theoretical context we have a, quote, right to live for ourselves or should be, quote, forced to live for others. If we want to be in this type of society, we are going to centralize some aspects of society and the economy while hopefully finding a balance that still allows people reasonable amounts of self-determination. For me, I start there because this is the society I live in. And if I don't like that, I would then look at, okay, maybe I need to find a different society where the dichotomy you raise is actually feasible. It's less interesting to just abstractly discuss the dichotomy you bring up. I don't think we get much out of it, if that's fair.
I think taxes, that exists in our society, so we all have to deal with that. That's a case where I would say we're forced to sacrifice what we would choose to do with our own money for the sake of other people. So I think it is very relevant to
Are we though? I mean, on taxes, you're not forced to work, right? Like you could choose not to work.
Yeah, but if you do choose to work, you're forced to give away some of your earnings to other people.
But you said if you choose to work, you did say if you choose to work, right? Choose is different than force. Right. You acknowledge that.
Yes,
okay.
I agree.
And if you don't like the tax structure of the United States, you could look to go to a different place. I understand it's difficult to stop paying taxes to the United States, but there are different conventions. You could renounce your citizenship, et cetera. Like, you agree that you could also kind of take your toys and leave to some degree.
Yeah, but I don't think the government has a right to put you in that kind of position. The government's right to tax, I don't think it has a right to tax. It only has rights that are delegated to it by the citizens, but the citizens themselves don't have a right to coerce others, so they can't delegate the right to coerce others to the government.
Okay, so basically it's like you're kind of like a standard utopian libertarian, it sounds like.
I'm not a utilitarian, I'm an objectivist.
Utopian, I said. All right,
well,
it's all very interesting, Dan. Listen, If people hear this and think it would be interesting for me to do 3 hours on this, let me know, and then I'll do Dan's show. And Dan, you can email in and give me more info, okay?
All right, thanks, David.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
There goes Dan, an Ayn Rand fan. And listen, we'll look into it. It's just not usually like the best use of anybody's time. That's been my experience, which is why I kind of tend not to do it.